Hey, Coach. I'm gonna go with that Logger Pro we talked about for the falling object for acceleration due to gravity. And this is my Logger Pro from Veneer. It's a personal use one. You can, excuse me, you can download right off the Veneer site, and you can also get the site license so every kid in school can have a copy of it. So here's our screen, and there's all sorts of options we can do. But we're gonna stick with the movies. So we're gonna go insert, and I want movie, and I put it in my desktop. Let's see, there it is there. Now what I usually have the kids shoot it on their iPhone, drop it in their drive, and then download it into their school folder. So you might work and see what works best for you. Unfortunately, Veneer can't pull it right out of Google Drive yet. So I had Chase do this for me. When they shoot the movie, always make sure they have a meter stick in the background. And we're going to switch the axis because a lot of these movies are flipped around. So first thing we want to do is get the ball to be in free fall already. And be surprised how many frames are on here. Let's see, get it to go. Because if we start it with in the hand, there's just way too many data points. So it looks like we got it in free fall. So at this point, go to the bottom right hand corner, hit the three balls, and you're going to get some tools. First thing we want to do is set our scale. So it'll be the fourth one from the top. And we're going to set our scale on this meter stick. And again, your data is only as good as you can mark it. So we got distance 1 meter. So okay, we can click on that. Next thing we want to do is set our axis. So that'll be the third from the top. And we'll click. Now this is actually the X, so we want it to be the Y. And kind of want Y to be positive. So I'll grab the yellow ball here, rotate it clockwise, and that doesn't look too bad. Let's see, back up a touch. Right, that doesn't look too bad right there. So we got what we have now. We got the x-axis right at the bottom of the wall, and it looks like we got the y parallel. Pretty good. Let's see if we can move it up a touch. And too much. And again, this comes with some playing. So now we got our axis set, and we want to start getting data points. So go back to the right here, click on the second from the top, add point. And this is where it's going to take a little bit of practice. I try to get right at the bottom of the ball. So you want to be consistent whatever you do. And I'll admit this does get a little blurry in here, but do the best you can with it. So let me keep clicking here. And I'm going to I'll do one more. You don't want it as it impacts because you're going to get some kind of weird looking data here. So along the left, we got our data table. So we see our time is increasing. And really the only one we're really looking for is the y velocity. Now you can do all sorts of stuff with this graph. You know, feel free to play with it. But really, I'm just looking for this data table. So, and it also, there's going to be a graph behind here. You could use, import, do what you want with it. You can do all sorts of fun stuff if the kids find that fun. So we want to go to File, Export, and we want it as a comma separated value. And I'm just going to call it movie. And hit save. And that's it for this. Now, this is going to turn up as Excel. If you guys work in Excel, you know, that's great. We always work in Google Docs, so I'm just going to highlight all this stuff. and I'm going to copy it and throw it into a Google spreadsheet because we always worked in Google. And let's go ahead and paste. And there's my data. Really, the only data I want is the time and the y velocity. So BD and D, or BC and D, I can delete columns B and D. And my video analysis, I have time, and that's seconds. And this is y velocity, meters per second. Oops. Yeah, I guess that'd be good. Now, if you want, the kids can do a graph of this real quick. Time in seconds, y velocity, meters per second. And you can play around with this as much as you want. I'm going to get rid of this real quick. Let's see, get a chart, delete chart. So we know velocity, or excuse me, acceleration is final velocity, which we have right here, minus the initial, which we have here, divided by time. So we got to take the difference in time here. So I'm going to see what I get with this one. Let's see. So my final velocity is 5.498. 5.498 minus 2.639. 2.639. Let's see, it's going to be 2.859. My time difference is 3.735. 3.735 minus 3.368 equals 0.367. So I can take my difference in velocity, 2.859 divided by 0.367, and I came out with 7.8 meters per second squared. A lot of times I'll have the kids do any 2 points, and I've done this where you get like 8.89 meters per second squared. It really depends on where you click on the ball there. And you can play around with this as much as you want. One thing the kids always go, but I need average velocity for my calculations. So what I'll have them do, let's go over here, go to average, and I want to average this column. So I'm going to go B2 to B13. B2, comma, B13. And my average velocity is 4.0685. Then they can use this one for anything where they've got to use a velocity. So, you can play around with this. The kids can, once I go through it with them, you can get 4 or 5 objects done in a half hour. They really get pretty good at it. So, next time you see me, if you got any questions, give me a holler, and we'll talk to you later.